You're pretending, not in the way you think, not in some small, harmless way. You're pretending to be happy when you're really suffering because you're lonely. You're pretending you have it all together when inside, you're carrying shame about your past, about your feelings, about who you really are. And here's the kicker: you're exhausted. Maintaining this appearance, keeping up this image of someone you're not, is draining every ounce of your energy. Let me ask you something. How much of your day is spent being someone for other people? How much energy goes into making sure nobody sees the truth? Because here's what nobody talks about. You're living two lives, the one you show and the one you're actually living. And the gap between those two, that gap is killing you. You lie. Not because you're a bad person, but because you're terrified. You lie to be liked. You lie so people don't see how unworthy you feel. You say you're fine when you're not. You say you're excited when you're numb. You say you're confident when you're terrified, and every single lie widens that gap just a little bit more. Here's the truth, and I need you to really hear this. You don't want anyone to know who you really are, because if they knew, if they really knew, you're convinced they'd reject you, judge you, abandon you. So you hide, you perform, you exhaust yourself trying to close the distance between the person you appear to be and the person you know yourself to be. But here's where it gets interesting. That exhaustion, that constant pretending, it's not just emotional, it's biological. Your body is involved. Your nervous system is involved. And the quantum field, the very fabric of reality itself, is involved. You've been told that manifestation is about thinking positive thoughts, visualizing what you want, repeating affirmations, and maybe you've tried all of that. Maybe you've done the vision boards and the gratitude journals and the meditations, and maybe some things shifted. But the big things, the things you really want, they're still out of reach. And you're starting to wonder if it's you, if you're broken, if you're doing it wrong. Let me tell you something. You're not broken, but you are stuck. And you're stuck because there's one thing, just one thing, that you refuse to surrender. And until you do, the quantum field can't deliver what you're asking for. Not because it's cruel, but because it's precise. Ready to go deeper? Let's talk about why you're really stuck. Here's what most people don't understand about manifestation. It's not about what you think, it's about what you are. Your body, right now, in this moment, is a recording of your past. Every emotion you've ever felt repeatedly has created a chemical signature in your system, and your body has become addicted to those chemicals. Stay with me here. When you feel self-pity, your brain releases a specific cocktail of neurotransmitters and peptides. Your body receives those chemicals, and if you've felt self-pity every day for years, your body has memorized that feeling. It's become your baseline. You're normal. So when you wake up in the morning, before you even think a conscious thought, your body is already craving that familiar chemistry. It's pulling you back into self-pity. Not because you're weak, but because you're addicted. And here's where it gets wild. You don't even realize you're doing it. You think about the same things. You react to the same triggers. You feel the same emotions. And every time you do, you're feeding the addiction. You're strengthening the neural pathways that keep you stuck in that memorized emotional state. This is why trying harder doesn't work. This is why positive thinking alone doesn't work. Because you're trying to think your way out of a biochemical addiction. Let me give you an example. You say you want love. You do the affirmations, you visualize the partner, but deep down you're terrified. Because the last time you loved someone, it hurt, and that hurt got memorized into your body. So now, without even realizing it, you're scanning your environment for reasons to stay guarded, for proof that love isn't safe. For evidence that you should keep your walls up. And guess what? You find it. Every time. Not because love isn't available, but because your body is running a program designed to protect you from feeling that memorized pain again. This is what Dr. Joe Dispenza calls the body becoming the mind. Your body is so used to being a certain way that it starts making decisions for you. It starts choosing thoughts that match its chemistry. And before you know it, you're no longer in control. The servant has become the master. But here's the profound part, and this is where quantum physics comes in. You're not just battling your own biochemistry, you're battling your energetic attachments to everything outside of you. Think about it. Every person in your life has an emotional charge attached to them. Your ex, there's energy there. Your critical parent, energy. The friend who betrayed you, energy. Even the boss who passed you over for that promotion, energy. And here's what nobody tells you. You're using those people to stay addicted to your emotions. If you hate someone, you're using that person to stay addicted to hatred. If you resent someone, you're using them to maintain resentment. And every time you think about them, every time you replay that old story, you're releasing the same chemicals into your bloodstream. You're literally keeping yourself bound to them through emotion. And this is critical, you're not really hating them. You're hating yourself because every time you release those chemicals from your brain to your body, you're reinforcing the belief that you're somehow less than, somehow unworthy, somehow not enough. And the quantum field? It's watching, it's listening, and it's giving you more of what you are, not what you say you want. What you are. So if you are resentful, you'll manifest situations that give you more reasons to be resentful. If you are fearful, you'll attract circumstances that confirm your fears. If you are addicted to suffering, the universe, in its perfect, precise intelligence, will give you more opportunities to suffer. Not as punishment, but as reflection. The quantum field is a mirror. And right now, it's showing you exactly who you've been. Shall we move into what it takes to change that reflection? Let's talk about something radical, something that most manifestation teachers won't tell you because it's too uncomfortable, too destabilizing. You are not observing reality. You are creating it, and I don't mean that in some abstract feel-good motivational way. I mean it literally. Quantum physics has proven that the observer affects the observed, that the act of observation collapses the wave function and brings a specific reality into form. You've heard this before, maybe. The double-slit experiment, the observer effect. But let me make this personal for you. Right now, you are standing in an infinite quantum field of possibility. Every potential version of your life already exists as a wave of probability. The version where you're abundant, the version where you're loved, the version where you're free. They're all there, waiting. But here's the thing. They stay as waves until you collapse them into particles, until you, as the observer, choose which reality to make real. And how do you choose? Not with your thoughts, with your state of being. When you wake up every morning and feel the same familiar emotions, the same worry, the same lack, the same fear, you're collapsing the same reality into form. You're selecting from the quantum field the exact circumstances that match your internal state. This is why people who win the lottery often end up broke again within a few years, because they didn't change their state of being. They got a new external reality, but their internal reality, their memorized emotional state, was still set to lack. So they unconsciously recreated the circumstances that matched that state. You see it now? It's not about what you do. It's about who you are being. And here's where most people get stuck. They try to change their doing. They work harder, they hustle more, they follow the steps. But they're still being the same person they've always been, still carrying the same emotional addictions, still tied to the same energetic bonds. And the quantum field? It can't help them, because they're sending mixed signals. Let me explain. You say you want abundance, but you feel lack all day long. You say you want love, but you're terrified of vulnerability. You say you want freedom, but you're clinging to control. And in the language of the quantum field, this is noise, not signal. The field responds to coherence, to alignment, to the clarity of your energetic state. And right now, you're incoherent. Your mind says one thing, your body demonstrates another. And the field can't collapse a clear reality because you're not sending a clear message. Einstein said it best. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Read that again. You cannot think your way out of this. You cannot hustle your way out. You cannot manifest your way out using the same limited state of mind that got you here in the first place. You need a higher consciousness, a greater intelligence, a mind that sees beyond your ego's narrow perspective. And here's the beautiful, terrifying truth. That mind is already available to you. It's inside you. It's around you. Some call it the quantum field. Some call it universal intelligence. Some call it God. But it doesn't matter what you call it. What matters is whether you're willing to access it. And here's what it takes. You have to surrender. Not surrender in the way you've been taught, not giving up, not admitting defeat, not begging for help like some powerless victim. Surrender means something else entirely. It means letting go of the one thing your ego desperately wants to control, the how. How will this happen? When will it happen? Who will be involved? What steps will unfold? Your ego wants to know, needs to know, because knowing gives it the illusion of control. But here's the paradox. The moment you insist on knowing how, you block the quantum field from orchestrating something better than you could have imagined. Because your ego, that limited fear-based part of you, can only imagine solutions based on your past experiences. It can only see what it's already seen. It can only create what it already knows. But the quantum mind, it has access to infinite intelligence, infinite possibilities, infinite pathways that your small mind could never conceive. So when you hold on to the how, when you try to micromanage the process, when you white-knuckle the steering wheel of your life, you're essentially telling the universe, "No thanks, I've got this. I'll do it my way." And the universe, it steps back. It honors your free will, and it lets you struggle. But the moment you surrender, the moment you genuinely release your grip on the how, you open yourself to assistance from a greater intelligence. And that's when reality shifts. Not because you worked harder, not because you figured it out, but because you got out of the way and let something infinitely smarter than your ego take the wheel. So here's my question for you. Are you ready to surrender? Not just intellectually, not just as a concept, but for real? Because if you are, I'm about to show you exactly how to do it. And I need to warn you, your body is not going to want this. Your ego is going to resist. Every survival mechanism you have is going to kick in and tell you this is dangerous. But here's the thing. It's only dangerous to the old you, the one who's been stuck, the one who's been pretending, the one who's been exhausted, the real you, the quantum you. This is what you've been waiting for. Let's dive into the practice. Before we go further, I need to reframe something for you, because if you don't understand this, you'll sabotage everything that comes next. Surrender is not weakness, it's the opposite. Surrender is acknowledging that your limited ego-based consciousness cannot solve the problems it created, and that acknowledgement, that honest, humble recognition, is the most powerful thing you can do, because it opens the door to a consciousness that can solve them. Now here's where people get stuck. They carry this old paradigm of God, or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, as some judgmental authority figure, some cosmic parent who's keeping score, who punishes the bad and rewards the good, and they think, if I admit the truth about myself, about my shame, my fears, my lies, I'll be judged, condemned, rejected. But let me tell you something that might shock you. The universal consciousness within you and around you doesn't work that way. It's not a bearded man in the sky with a list of your sins. It's not waiting to punish you. It's not disappointed in you. It's pure intelligence, pure love, pure creative potential. And it already knows everything about you. Every lie you've told, every shame you've carried, every fear you've hidden. It sees all of it. And it doesn't judge any of it. It's waiting, patiently, lovingly, for you to develop a relationship with it, to trust it, to let it help you. But you can't develop that relationship until you're willing to be honest, not with other people, with it. This is the first step, admission. You have to admit inwardly to this greater intelligence what you've been hiding, what you've been pretending, what you've been carrying, not out loud, not to anyone else, just inwardly, in the privacy of your own consciousness. Let me give you examples. I'm afraid to fall in love because it hurts too much. I pretend I'm happy, but I'm really suffering because I'm lonely. I feel guilty, so I lie about who I am. I lie to be liked because I feel so unworthy. I can't stop feeling self-pity. I think, act, and feel this way all day long because I don't know how else to feel. I've felt like a failure most of my life, so I try extra hard to be successful. Do you see what's happening here? You're naming the truth. You're bringing it into the light. And the moment you do, something shifts. Because your ego, that part of you that's been hiding this truth, can no longer control you through secrecy. The truth is out, not to the world, to the one intelligence that can actually do something about it. But here's where it gets even more powerful. After you admit it inwardly, you need to declare it outwardly. And I don't mean post it on social media, I mean speak it out loud, in private, to no one but yourself and the universe. Why does this matter? Because speaking truth out loud breaks the emotional bonds that have been keeping you trapped. Every person, every place, everything in your life has an emotional charge attached to it. And those charges are keeping your energy locked in the past. When you declare the truth out loud, you call that energy back. You reclaim it. You free it. Let me explain how this works. You've been using your environment, the people, the memories, the places, to remind yourself of who you are. Your body has become so identified with these external cues that it literally needs them to feel like itself. That's why you keep replaying the same stories. That's why you keep rehashing old wounds. That's why you can't seem to move on. You're energetically bound to those experiences, and those bonds are feeding your addiction to the memorized emotions. But when you speak the truth out loud, when you name what you've been hiding and declare it without shame, you sever those bonds. You say, I have been using my hatred of this person to stay addicted to hatred, and I'm done. I'm calling my energy back. You say, I have been replaying my past failures to reinforce my identity as a failure, and I'm done. I'm releasing this pattern. You say, I have been clinging to control because I'm terrified of the unknown, and I'm done. I'm choosing trust instead. And here's what happens. Your body, which has been running the show, which has been the master instead of the servant, suddenly realizes you're taking back command. It won't like it at first. It's going to resist. It's going to pull you back toward the familiar chemistry. It's going to generate thoughts and feelings designed to keep you stuck. But if you stay with it, if you keep declaring the truth, you win. You regain mastery, and you free up enormous amounts of energy that have been trapped in those old emotional bonds. This energy, this is what you use to create your new self, your new reality. But there's one more step, and this is the big one. You have to surrender, not just admit, not just declare, but actively, consciously surrender the problem and your need to control how it gets solved to this greater intelligence. Here's what that sounds like. Universal mind within me, I forgive my worries, my anxieties, and my small-minded concerns, and I give them to you. I trust that you have the mind to resolve them much better than I could. Or this. Innate intelligence, I release my suffering and my self-pity to you. I have mismanaged my inner thoughts and actions for long enough. I allow you to intervene and provide a greater life in a way that is just right for me. Do you feel the shift in those statements? There's no bargaining, no begging, no making deals or promises, no guilt or shame, just honest, humble surrender. You're saying, Aloud, I don't know how to fix this, but I trust that you do. And I'm getting out of the way so you can. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you surrender control, you access a level of power your ego could never touch. Shall we talk about what happens next? Here's where everything you've been taught about manifestation gets flipped on its head. You've been told to visualize the outcome, to feel the feelings of having what you want to live as if it's already done. And that's not wrong, but most people do it backwards. They think, once I get the thing, then I'll feel joy, then I'll feel free, then I'll feel abundant. But the quantum field doesn't work that way. The field responds to your state of being right now, not what you're hoping to become, not what you're trying to manifest, what you are in this moment. So if you're in a state of lack, if you're waiting for the thing to arrive so you can finally feel good, you're sending the signal of lack, and the field mirrors that back to you. More lack. More waiting, more hoping. But here's the elegant shift. When you feel joy now, when you embody the state of freedom, of abundance, of love right now, before anything external has changed, You've already accepted the future outcome as a reality. You're no longer waiting for it, you're living from it. And that shift in state is what collapses the wave function. That's what brings the quantum possibility into physical form. This is what the placebo effect has been trying to teach us all along. When someone takes a sugar pill and believes it's medicine, their body starts producing the chemistry of healing. Not because the pill did anything, but because their belief, their acceptance of the healing as real, triggered a biological response. Their subconscious mind, which is connected to the universal intelligence, changed their internal chemistry to match their belief. And the body healed. You see the power in this? It's not about faking it until you make it. It's about genuinely accepting the future you want as already true. And living from that acceptance. When you do this, when you live as if your prayers have already been answered, something miraculous happens. The greater mind, the quantum mind, can finally step in and start organizing your life in ways you never could have planned. It orchestrates synchronicities. It opens doors. It brings people and opportunities into your path that align perfectly with the new reality you're embodying. But you have to stay in that state. You have to maintain coherence between what you're asking for and who you're being. And this is where most people fail. They do the work. They admit. They declare. They surrender. They feel the joy for a moment, and then doubt creeps in. How is this actually going to happen? When will I see results? What if I'm doing it wrong? And the moment those thoughts arise, the moment you start overanalyzing the how and the when, you've undone everything. Because you've shifted back into the state of doubt, and doubt is incoherent, it's a mixed signal. And the quantum field can't work with that. Let me be very clear about this. If you begin to doubt, become anxious, worry, get discouraged, or overanalyze how this assistance might happen, you undo the surrender. You take back control. You tell the universe, never mind, I've got this. And it backs off. So here's what you do instead. When the doubt comes, and it will come, you acknowledge it. You don't fight it. You don't shame yourself for it. You simply notice it. And then you return to the surrender. I don't know how this will happen, and I don't need to know. I trust the intelligence within me to handle it. You return to the state of joy, to the certainty that it's already done, to the knowing that the greater mind is orchestrating everything perfectly. And every time you do this, every time you choose trust over doubt, surrender over control, joy over fear, you strengthen the new neural pathways, you build new habits, you embody the new you, and the quantum field responds. It starts collapsing realities that match your new state, not the old one, not the one stuck in lack and fear and control. The new one, the one living in trust and joy and abundance. But here's the thing I really want you to understand. This isn't about positive thinking. This isn't about denying your problems or pretending everything is fine when it's not. This is about changing the fundamental frequency you're broadcasting into the field. Think of it like a radio. If you want to hear a different station, you don't yell at the radio to change. You don't beg it to play better music. You simply turn the dial, you tune to a different frequency, and that's what surrender does. It changes your frequency. And when your frequency changes, the reality you're tuned into changes. You're no longer picking up the station of lack and fear and control. You're tuning into the station of abundance and love and trust. And the universe, this infinite loving intelligence, is thrilled because it's been trying to broadcast this frequency to you all along. You just couldn't hear it through all the static. But now you're clear. Now you're coherent. Now you're aligned. And things start to shift. Not because you figured it out, not because you worked harder, but because you got out of your own way. You surrendered the one thing that was blocking everything, your need to control the how. And the quantum field, in its infinite wisdom, started delivering. Now let me tell you what to expect after you do this work. There will be side effects, but not the kind you're used to. You'll start feeling inspiration out of nowhere. Ideas will come. Intuitions will hit. You'll know things without knowing how you know them. You'll feel joy, not because everything is perfect, but because you've tapped into something that's always been there waiting. You'll feel love for yourself, for others, for life itself. You'll feel freedom because you're no longer a prisoner of your past, of your memorized emotions, of your energetic bonds. You'll feel awe at the synchronicities, at the way things fall into place, at the intelligence orchestrating your life, and you'll feel gratitude. Deep, genuine gratitude, not for what you have, but for what you are. This is what happens when you surrender, when you stop trying to control reality and start co-creating with it. And here's the most beautiful part. This isn't a one-time thing. This is a way of living. Every time you catch yourself trying to force an outcome, you surrender. Every time doubt creeps in, you return to trust. Every time fear shows up, you choose joy. And over time, not overnight, but over time, you become someone new, someone who doesn't need to control, someone who doesn't need to pretend, someone who doesn't need to hide. You become the quantum you, the version of you that knows it's safe to be vulnerable, that knows the universe has your back, that knows joy isn't something you earn, it's something you are in reality. Reality has no choice but to shift, because you're no longer the same person. You're no longer collapsing the same old possibilities into form. You're creating from a completely different state of being. So let me leave you with this. If you're feeling a spark right now, if something in these words resonated with something deep inside you, that's not an accident. That's the quantum you waking up, recognizing itself, remembering. And if you want to go deeper into this work, if you want to be part of a community that's walking this path together, hit that subscribe button, drop one word in the comments that captures your energy right now. Just one word, because this isn't just information, this is transformation. And you're ready. The quantum you has been waiting for this moment. And now you know what to surrender. Welcome home. This is video 16 in the Quantum You series. 16 deep dives into consciousness, surrender, and the quantum field. And here's what nobody tells you about surrender. It's not a one-time event. It's a practice. And there's a skill, a very specific skill that separates the people who stay free from the people who fall back into old patterns within days. In video 17, we're going into the operating system. I'm going to show you how to catch yourself before the old self catches you, how to see the invisible patterns running in the background of your mind, and how to interrupt them before they take over. This is where awareness becomes power. This is where you stop being controlled by unconscious programs and start becoming the conscious creator of your reality. Video 17 is coming. And if you thought surrender was profound, wait until you see what happens when you can actually observe yourself from outside yourself. I'll see you there.